Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Chase. So we're going to be doing a rapid fire altcoin video today. You know me, no bullshit. We get straight to the point. We are going to talk about Phantom, Bake, TVK, Front, CODY, SHROOM, and SAR. Those were the top most liked ones that I saw. Okay, if I happen to miss yours and it was more liked or something, feel free. I'm going to try to do these weekly. Okay, so you just put it in the comments next week, and I'll go over it next week. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm going to try to start pumping more of these videos. Alright, so usually, right, the boxes are either going to be support or resistance. Our yellow lines are liquidity. And let's just get into it, okay? I tried to keep a similar theme, so hopefully it was easier to understand. Okay, so we'll start with Phantom. We could see here, this was our origin of impulse upwards, okay? We got liquidity here, we got liquidity here. They're sort of chopping around this previous support level turned into resistance level, okay? So the plan for this one would be to just look for a reclaim of this obvious level here. We could see it in the bold black. If we get a reclaim of that, we retest it. That's your opportunity right there. You can take that, or you can wait for it to make a new high, and then you have stop below whatever consolidation push this upwards, okay? Where are you targeting? You're targeting these highs. You have this high here, that's your first target. You have this high here, that's your second target. And ultimately, your main target is here into this red box. It's above this liquidity into this untested resistance level, okay? That is your optimal sell. I can't promise it gets all the way up there. That's why I show you TP 1, 2, and 3, but this is your optimal level. Okay, as far as anything on the bearish side, as long as this 30 cents holds, pretty much fine. Wouldn't want to see much below here. If this flips to resistance or anything, probably not good. Okay, moving forward to Bake. Okay, let's see. Let's just center this up a little bit. All right, so obviously you had a strong listing pump here. You come down, you put in a low. We can see this obvious once again. Origin of impulse. You put in a low here, you run this low, right? You run that low right there, and you also test this support level. So that was pretty clean. That was a clean buy right there. Obvious support serves as support once again, okay? You want to see this yellow hold for the most part. Outside of that, if you can flip this level, it's not extremely reliable, right? But you do have these highs here that are looking juicy for liquidity. But as far as this one goes, I can't necessarily say that I would personally play along off that. I think it's a bit risky and there's not a ton of confluence there. Best thing you could hope for is probably to clear this level like significantly, right? If you clear the level significantly and you come down and this proves as support, you might get something like this where you come back down and you sweep like into here, right? And then you reclaim and then you take like, you push above there and you go something like that, okay? And I would look for the entry sort of in there with stop below here, something along that. I'm doing my best, obviously, to try to paint a picture, but also it's somewhat hard to paint pictures and, completely predict the future. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, moving forward to TVK, Terra Virtua. I think that's how you say it. We can obviously see here, lower line, this was a previous resistance level, turned support. That was your optimal buy so far. As long as 66 cents holds and doesn't flip to resistance, then we're fine. If it does flip to resistance, we could be looking at lower around 55 cents. This is your main resistance level right here. We could see we pushed up. This was your origin of the impulse that sent us to the new highs, okay? We could see right here on this low, right here, that low, okay? So that low sent us up. We came down, it supported, it supported, it supported. Then we formed this block here that sent us back down, and it's been resistance ever since, okay? Comes up, resistance, 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 over and over again, okay? So what I really want to see is a clear break above this white box, retest the level, and again, first target would be the origin of this impulse move down, right? Okay, we could see a big move down here, starting from here. Yeah, so we could see a big move starting from there. I got to figure out something better to do with this paint thing than always painting and then unpainting. Okay, yeah, I'll figure that out. So we could see the origin of the down move here. That's our first target, 1.16. And then our second target would obviously be 1.28, liquidity above here, and new highs. Okay, moving forward to Front. Sip of water here. Front is looking somewhat range bound to me, right? You have this big Somewhat inefficient move. You come back down to the origin of impulse support right here. Okay, so it bounced around this support level. It took like this liquidity level right here, which was sort of interesting. So you would want to see that level hold, right? You want to see around $2. You want to see that hold. If you see this low turn into resistance and flip and start moving downwards, that's probably not a good sign. That most likely means that you're headed back down towards 1.18, somewhere around there. As far as upside on this one, like I said, somewhat range bound, so I wouldn't personally be in a rush to get into a long or a short or anything like that. I probably just wouldn't be looking at this one at the moment. If you are holding, I think, like I said, it's okay as long as this doesn't flip to resistance down here. You do have major resistance here. It did pierce through here, although somewhat of a deviation because it came right back down. I would honestly, if you want to look for more upside, you're going to need to at least flip this white box first, and then from there you'd be targeting somewhere around $5. Okay, moving forward to CODY. Okay, so we came up, we put in a high. I just had to, I had to check if the thing. I always get nervous that these things aren't recording, but yeah, we're all good. So yeah, we came up, we formed a high right here after the blow off top, sort of formed a range, right? So we can see the range high, range low. Actually, this level is slightly off. It should be like right there. Okay, there we go. So we formed a range high, range low, deviate the low, come up, deviate the high, retest the low, and usually you retest the low, right, and then you bounce around the EQ level, and that typically leads to a breakout. So I would say that this one is most likely going to continue its trend. The only thing that would make me think differently would be that if this area flipped to resistance and we came down, did something like that, then you're obviously looking at 25 cents as a rebuy. Otherwise, most likely holding this one and looking for new highs. Okay. Moving towards SHROOM. Hey, my chart disappeared. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so let's chart this out real quick. Not sure why my chart disappeared. Not sure why these are purple. Come on, ChartX. Okay, so we can see obvious resistance here, right? Let's mark that out. That turned into support. We could see how SHROOM acts typically. Old highs flip to support. Old highs flip to support. Okay. So that's just a basis of what we want right there. I would say that this looks good for continuation upwards. Yeah, I mean, as long as, this could even deviate a bit, right? If it did come down and come back below this could be a deviation, and then it just, stays back in here and comes back up and goes. That is totally possible. The only thing you really don't want to see is like these lows right here. We can see how we put in a low, deviate the low, reclaim the low, and it serves as support, and that causes the move upwards, right? Okay, this causes the move upwards. So if we see that and that level flips back to resistance, then most likely could be headed back to this origin of impulse right around 56 cents. But ultimately, I'm optimistic for more upside here as long as, overall crypto markets stay strong. And that goes for anything, right? If overall crypto markets start dumping, like if Bitcoin or ETH were to dump, then obviously a good amount of alts could probably dump with it, but ultimately I'm going purely based off the TA that I'm seeing on these specific coins. Okay, and finally we'll look at SAR. Very new coin, it seems, so we don't have a ton of data to work with, but I'll do my best. We can see old resistance here, flip to support, and also the origin of impulse, right? Because we could see this down move right here that causes this big up move. This is where it's, the market basically decided, okay, that's enough, we're going up. So old resistance, flips to support, origin of impulse. This is your optimal buy level right around 0.33, but it looks like it's getting front ran so far. So that would somewhat give me optimism that it could be headed back towards the top. It has tested the highs 1, 2, 3 times now. Looks like the volume is tapering off a bit, but something to watch. If you're very bullish on this, obviously you're looking at 0.3 for your buy, and if that was to break down, you'd probably start looking, this whole area could sort of serve as support, right? You could be looking at 0.25. If that goes, obviously you're starting to look a lot lower, 0.15, etc. Brand new coin, I don't know anything about it. I'm not sure what the liquidity is like, so sort of got to take these with a grain of salt, and this is just, technical analysis that I'm seeing. Okay, Hope this video was helpful, everybody. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Throw a thumbs up, throw a comment. Any feedback is appreciated. Even if it's constructive feedback, no problem at all. I'm happy to hear it. Trying to make these videos as good as possible for you guys. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.